welcome to Value Chain TV News Update. I am Adabio Gwejofor with the news. And on the news update, the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso has warned Nigeria and other developing countries to be mindful of the risks of debt, which will hinder economic growth and prosperity. He stated this in Abuja when he declared open a World Bank, IMF, and West Africa Institute for Financial and Economic Management regional training on medium-term debt strategy for debt. The Apex Bank governor noted that Nigeria's situation at the moment is stable despite the near-term risks attributed to unfavorable global market conditions and increased debt burden resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. The organized private sector has expressed concerns about the looting of trucks conveying food and raw materials by suspected hoodlums, warning that it can lead to a shutdown of industries across the country. Members issued the warning in separate interviews with journalists just as perpetrators attacked trucks conveying building materials and spaghetti in Ogun, Kaduna, and just recently a warehouse in the Federal Capital Territory. Meanwhile, the federal government declared that it would begin the distribution of free grains to states this week. The Energy Commission of Nigeria has said that Nigeria will totally cut down carbon emissions in the country to net zero by 2050. The Director General of ECN, Mr. Mustafa Abdullahi, disclosed this in Abuja during the maiden sensitization campaign on using improved wood stoves in rural areas at Kurudu Village, Karu Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory. The campaign is designed to promote the adoption and use of improved cooking stoves in communities across the country. Abdullahi explained that the improved wood stoves were designed to burn fuel wood more efficiently and cleanly, thereby reducing fuel consumption and harmful emissions. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced a further decrease in the exchange rates used to calculate import duties at seaports. The reduction follows relative stability in the exchange rates between the Naira and the US dollar. As of 4th March, the new rate for calculating custom duties is 1,544.081 Naira per US dollar, which represents a 5.3% decrease compared to the previous rate of 1,630.159 Naira per US dollar used on 2nd March. This implies that importers will now pay 86.078 Naira less per dollar when clearing their goods through the ports. The federal government has revealed that an investment of $2.5 billion is required from the private sector to deliver 1 million vehicles to compressed natural gas (CNG) before 2027. This was revealed by the head of media relations of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Taiwo Fashipe, during the commissioning of MBH Power CNG Retrofitting Conversion Center in Lagos. Fashipe disclosed that the initiative had attracted over $45 million in investment, harping on the need for more private entities to maximize the value chain in the sector. He added that the initiative has endorsed the inauguration of 10 pilot conversion centers in collaboration with key private sector entities and is on track to increase the number of CNG refueling stations by 55 by the end of the year. The Rural Electrification Agency, REA, has convened a 2-day roundtable event as part of collaboration with designated representatives from the state governments and distribution companies. This was disclosed in a statement by the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, who spoke on the need for a deliberate collaboration among stakeholders in the sector to achieve the objectives. Adelabu said the meeting was convened in collaboration with frontline institutions in the sustainable development space, Ernst & Young EY, the United States Agency for International Development USAID, and the World Bank. The Finance Ministry of Ghana has appealed to the president to withhold his signature from the contentious bill against LGBTQ rights, which was approved by Parliament, as it could lead to a total loss of $3.8 billion in World Bank funding. Although the United States, United Kingdom, and various human rights groups have already condemned the bill, which was backed by both of Ghana's two main political parties. Valley Chain TV spoke to some Nigerians to gather their opinions on what this represents for Nigeria. The report.
All things being equal, one will look at it and say, since the World Bank rule, it's left to them. But at the same time, we also look at it, are we actually independent? That means World Bank is actually controlling the world. That means a country cannot come out and say, we are not in support of this. There's no freedom to practice what the country wants to practice, which is very wrong. So I think it's not an appropriate move. It's not an appropriate move. People should be able to be free to practice what they want to practice. A country that says they are not in support of this particular type of thing because it is weird, how would you be passing a law supporting LGBT? Fine, if people want to practice LGBT, it's okay. But then if the country says, no, we are not practicing it, why do you refuse them funds? Because of their choice. Must they go with your choice?
Nigeria should not practice that kind practice because Nigeria is a Christian country. Even Muslims, they are not in support of it. Talk less of Christians. We are not in support of it. So we should not practice that kind of law in Nigeria. What they are saying is just to in kind of put us in fear so that we join. If we do not join that law, nothing will happen. I'm saying nothing will happen. Even though they say they are not giving us any funds, God will provide for us. As far as we know the God we are serving, because that law is from the pit of hell.
The good idea, I know what make Nigeria follow their decision. Because if Nigeria follow the decision, the way where the country be now, if we can't enter another crisis, go they okay.
And that's it on the news update. I am Dalby Ogwejofor. Thanks for staying with us.